people of YouTube, it's your boy Noobside by the Universal Gamer. Welcome to another episode of Gamers Tubecast. As you can see, I got a whole new setup. This may not be a permanent setup, but it's a setup I got for right now since I got my MacBook Pro in. I'm trying to save paper, so I'm reading stuff off my MacBook Pro. So let's go. And yes, it goes down. My first segment. Step your game up. I recently stepped my game up with one game, and that game is Ninja Gaiden Sigma Plus for the PS Vita. Got that game free to play with PlayStation Plus, and play the first 20 minutes of the game just to see what it's like on the PS Vita, and it's pretty cool. Not gonna really focus my attention on it right now and play through the whole game until I erase some games off my list of playing, or off my plate. Segment number 2, get gaming. Letting you guys know the games I've been playing recently, and those games are Dead Space 2 for PS3, Dead Space 3 for Xbox 360, Motorstorm Pacific Rift for PS3, Fallout 3 for PC, Limbo, I've been playing that on Mac, and Half-Life 2, I've been playing that for the 6th or 7th time on Mac. I played 2 or 3 times on 360 first, I played it 2 times on PC, and now I'm playing on Mac, because I'm a G. Segment number 3, and just for the record, the Half-Life franchise, Half-Life 2 won Game of the Decade, so that shows how brilliant Half-Life 2 is. And where the hell was Half-Life 3 at? Valve, I swear to God, I ain't gonna say nothing. Just E3, you better impress me. Segment number 3, gaming news. Letting you guys know some news that's been circling around the web that you guys should already know about, but here to give you guys my personal opinions on it. And that is Resident Evil. Yes, you already know where I'm about to go with this. The lead designer, I think he's the lead designer or the creator of Resident Evil franchise, he finally made a statement saying that yes, we've been listening to the Resident Evil fans on the West Coast, and we realized, or the Western fans, not West Coast, but Western fans, we've been hearing a lot of complaining and stuff that we need to return to the roots and stuff like that, but we felt like we had to put action within the Resident Evil game in order to stay, and I hate when people say this, we had to put action within the game or change the game up in order to stay relevant. Says who? Every single Resident Evil game has always sold. So why did you have to change the game up to stay relevant? No, you want to change the game up to attract some of these Call of Duty fans. That's true, I love Call of Duty, I got almost every single Call of Duty game ever made, It's just that's true. They want to take away some of the action. They want to get some of that action market from the Western gamers, because Western gamers do like a lot of action. But anyways, he finally said, he was all like saying that we realized that we want to return to our roots and stuff, and give the fans what they want and stuff like that. Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3. We realized that those games are the games that people really want the franchise to return to. And that's what we do. We want a scary freaking zombie game. That's what we want. A game that just makes you shake while you're literally shaking while you're holding the controller. I haven't played a game like that ever since Amnesia, and the Penumbra games and Fatal Frame. Ever since those games, I haven't played another game like that. So, so with that said, let's move on to the second topic, and that is Sony is hosting an event February 20th. Everybody that's been covering this, all the PR people online, all the little game vloggers and stuff like that, already know what it's about. It's the announcement of the PS4, and everybody said if it's not the announcement of the PS4, then it'd be pointless. That gotta be the reason. And the next thing I want to talk about is the new Xbox. Rumors circulating that you have to be online at all times to play your games. It kind of won't hurt anybody that always be online anyways, but let's say the power is out, or your internet is down, or you got a slow connection, or Xbox Live is down and stuff like that. Then what? That's just a way to cancel out used games. And I'll be talking about used games if I can reach it, if I can get to it within this gaming news or this Gamers Tubecast. Let's move on to my fourth segment, and that is Spit Game. I want to spit game about 6 in particular topics, and that is, the first one is Dead Space 3 impressions so far. What I feel about Dead Space 3 so far after playing the game for about roughly 4.5, 5 hours. First off, I want to start this topic off by talking about the game franchise itself and break down the individual gaming scores on average that each game had got. Dead Space 1 got an 8.8 out of 10, Dead Space 2 got a 9 out of 10, Dead Space Extraction got a 7.5 out of 10, which is a pretty good score for that game, and Dead Space 3 had got an average score of 7.7, almost like around 7.7 to an 8. That shows that the game is kind of drifting away from, it's kind of how Resident Evil 4 did. Resident Evil 4 was real good, but you can tell that it's kind of starting to turn into something else, and that's what Dead Space 3 is, the Resident Evil 4 of Dead Space, pretty much. What I'm liking about the game so far and what my impressions of it, crafting reminds me of the Armored Core game series. Because in the Armored Core games, you know, the mech games, you can customize every little aspect of your mech and stuff like that. Now, it doesn't go as deep as Armored Core, but it has that feel to it, and I can find myself at the workbench just for dozens of minutes and stuff, and just minute after minute just crafting each weapon and make my own little unique weapon and cater to myself in the way I play. So I found that really unique, and you get used to it relatively quick. I'm really liking the story. I told you guys in my Dead Space video I had made, I made a vlog, letting you guys know, well, if the story is good, then I'm gonna enjoy myself, and the story is good so far. I like the way everything started out, and the environments and the gameplay from the beginning of the game kind of reminded me of Total Recall when I first was playing it. Like it had that Total Recall feel to it when you first start playing out. Everybody's after you, they're chasing you and stuff like that. You don't know what the hell's going on. Even the environments kind of look like that Total Recall Fifth Element type look to it, futuristic look, and it's not bad. I kind of wish that Dead Space 3 was Dead Space 1, and then Dead Space 1, and then Dead Space 2 came out. You know how, damn, this game would be a beast if this was Dead Space 1. Cause this is how I expected Dead Space 1 to be, where stuff doesn't happen right away. You're trying to figure out what's going on and stuff like that. And you know, it's just the way they started out Dead Space 3 was just great. You know, it would have been amazing if it was Dead Space 1. And then you end up from that place, you end up going to the Ishimura and stuff. Oh my god, that would have been amazing. And then another thing I'm loving all the different monster types. The craziest part about it is my favorite monster type is the ones that kind of looks like the same as the other Necromorphs, but they run at you super quick. For some reason, even though it kind of feels like, some people would say, well, it feels like Left 4 Dead when the zombies are running at you, but these dudes run at you. Like, it makes you like hurry up and panic and try and hurry up and shoot and use your stasis. Speaking of stasis, that's the only thing I'm irritated as far as Dead Space 3. It felt like this. Let me know if it's just me, but the stasis button has not been working like properly. I press it and like it won't go, and then I press it again, but right when I'm about to press it again, then he'll do it, and then end up doing it 2 times because I end up pressing it twice. For some reason, I don't know, the stasis button is just laggy. Like when you press it, sometimes he won't do it right away, and then he'll do it. Like right after you do it, like a few seconds after you do it. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but it happened to me like 15 times. So, and it kept getting on my nerves when I'm in the heat of the moment. So next thing I want to talk about is Skyrim, my Skyrim dance. A lot of people ask me why I didn't do live gameplay. Well, if you watch my video going over that video, I was talking about how that video came out of nowhere. I didn't really have it planned out, and it would have took me double the amount of time actually to use live gameplay. I would have had to see I would have to record everything and stuff like that, and I didn't want to record off screen. I want to wait till I get my capture device, so that's another reason right there. And my next one will be doing live gameplay. If you got any ideas for me, it got to be a game that has a remixed soundtrack to it. So it can be the game soundtrack, but it got to be like remixed to like a dance type, techno, or you know, upbeat, or you know, dubstep type, you know, remix to it. And you know, I'll do some gameplay to it and we get it done. Next up, I'm putting this inside my next segment because I don't got time to talk about this. I don't want to make this update too long, but it was Halo 3 versus Halo 4. I'm going to touch on it real quick. I went back and played Halo 3 for the hell of it. I never got rid of Halo 3. I always kept Halo 3. I played through Halo 3 like 6.5 times. But Halo 3, I went back and played Halo 3 alongside of a couple of my friends, and man, that game feels so laggy, so slow. It's like, how was I even playing this? Like, it's not that it feels slow because you can't sprint. It's like when you're moving around and when you're shooting, you realize how good Halo Reach and Halo 4 actually stepped up the game, you know. Bungie did a good job at stepping up, you know, game after game, because after going back and playing Halo 3, I don't see how the heck I was to do it. I don't see how I did it. You know, I was getting my ass spanked when I went back and played Halo 3. And then you got these people on Halo 3 that really, I hate these people that, you know what, I'm gonna wait to my next update. I'm gonna talk about that until my next update. But yeah, next thing I'm gonna talk about is Mercury Rising Revengeance. I played the demo, liked it. And for some reason, some odd, crazy reason, it has a Metal Gear feel to it. Even though it's Raiden's side of the story and it's kind of fast, well, not kind of, it is fast paced, has a little bit of stealth elements to it. It feels like a Metal Gear game, but just with Raiden playing as Raiden, you know, and it feels good. And this game is gonna sell like hotcakes because all the Ninja Gaiden fans, all the Bayonetta fans, all the fighting fans are going to start playing this game just for that reason, because it's a fighting game. That's it. They ain't going to play it because it's Metal Gear. They're going to play it because it's a fighting game. So Kojima is pretty much pulling in all the fighting gamers or whatever to his game franchise. So he can make more money outside of all the Metal Gear fans he has. So he can get the fighter fans inside there buying his game, and some of the Metal Gear fans buying the game, so he can pretty much make a bigger profit and stuff like that. When it all comes down to it, everything is about money. No matter how you look at it, you can look at it forwards, backwards, no matter how you look at it, up or down, everything is about money. Simple as that. It's about marketing, it's about getting more money and stuff like that. It's about outbeating other competitors and stuff. And the same thing what Capcom was doing when they turned Resident Evil to an action game, but still has some of that scariness to it, so they can capture a lot of action fans to buy their games and spend money on their games, and keep all the Resident Evil fans buying the game. But it didn't work out. Well, at least for me, because I know how to fight my urges of buying something if I really want something done correctly. So a lot of people, you guys support bullshit pretty much, because if you buy bullshit, they're gonna keep on putting out bullshit. Xbox Live arcade games are now 15 bucks. Every single game is pretty much 15 bucks. Why? Because you guys buy it. Oh, I can't help it. I just gotta have it. I'm a gamer and I can't. It's like a drug to me. Sometimes it feels like that to me too. Sometimes when I'm playing my favorite game, but sometimes you gotta realize when not to buy stuff. Play poker sometimes. Good Lord. And the last topic within my Spit Game segment is used games versus new games. A lot of developers and publishers are trying to figure out ways to outdo GameStop when it comes to used games, because when you buy used games, the developer or publisher do not make the money at all. GameStop or any retailer that sells used games make the money. And they look at us as criminals when we buy a used game, when it's not that's not the case. The case is that we're trying to save money. Everybody can't go to GameStop and buy 3 games at $60 a pop. That's $180 plus tax. That's ridiculous. It's almost $200 for 3 games. And by you making it, let's say they take away used games completely, where you cannot buy a used game at all. Games are not going to sell that much because the people that buy a game when it first comes out are a big fan of that game. A person that's a big fan of Halo is not going to wait till Halo go down to $44.99 and a used price when it's barely out, or go down to $25 and then buy it. No, a Halo fan is going to buy that crap, not crap, I don't mean crap like that, but going to buy it when it first comes out. You know what I'm saying? So you're not going to sell more brand new games because you make it where there's no used games. Because the same amount of people that would have bought the game brand new is going to buy it brand new. The same amount of people that wouldn't buy that game brand new is not going to buy the game brand new. So what I think they're going to do is they're still going to have used games, and once you put it inside your system, you're going to be able to play it for like an hour, like the PS3 had little 60-minute demos that you can play and stuff. And if you want to unlock the full game after that, you pay the price of how much the game costs. I think if you buy a used game, and used game prices will have to go down if they do something like this. But if you buy a used game, you can play it for like an hour or two. There's a little countdown. And then once it hits a certain time where you actually got to pay for the game, they're going to say, okay, now we got to pay $15 to unlock the rest of the game. I don't think they should charge $45 to unlock the rest of the game, given the fact that you had to buy the game used from GameStop from the get-go. And then at least they're making some money off of you, because when people were buying used games, they will make no money at all. So if you allow them to buy a used game for, like, let's say I buy a game for 35 bucks brand new, put it in my system, play it for 2 hours. Once my time is up, I can pay 15 or 20 bucks to unlock the full game, or I can just not play it. Other than that, games are gonna die, and everybody gonna move to PC gaming and play games off of Steam, because Steam is one of the best markets in the world. They put their prices down so far that it's ridiculous. They raise it back up when they need to. People will support Steam to the fullest, and I think people are gonna get the Steam box over the new consoles if Microsoft and Sony, I gotta drop the F-bomb, fucks this up. That's what's gonna happen. Segment number 5, gaming rant. Now I wanna rant about all these late reviews to these video games. I remember back in the days when gaming reviews, not really back in the days, but just a while back, when gaming reviews used to come out like 1 to 2 weeks before the game even launches. Now these publishers and developers put their games under embargo and tell these gaming people that you cannot put out a gaming review on our game until the day it comes out. That's suspicious. And some developers and publishers do that because they know that their game need a day 1 patch, or they know that their game sucks in certain ways, and they just want to hurry up and get it sold and then put the review out there. If they know if they would have put the review out there first, then their game probably wouldn't have sold that much, because certain issues that's with the game. And what's up with all this day 1 content? Day one patches, day 1 content. It's like, it's a way of selling the game twice, pretty much. It's like, if you already had that stuff made, when the game was already finished. Put that stuff in the game. Nobody ain't gonna buy a game for $60 and then buy an extra $25 worth of downloadable content. If you buy that stuff, then you're stupid. This goes back to the last topic I was talking about. You guys support bullshit. If you support bullshit, you gotta if you eat bullshit, that's what they're gonna keep feeding you. And you making a face like it's nasty, you don't like it, but you keep on eating it. So they're gonna keep on feeding it to you. Simple as that. Can't put it no simpler than that. And my last segment is Gaming Top 5 Countdown. I had a couple of people, and shouts out to, dang, I forget your name, just got a 3D TV, and a couple other people asked me what's some good 3D games out there to play, and I'm gonna go ahead and go through the list real fast. And those games, alright, number 5, we got Gears of War 3. That's the best 360 3D game out there. There's only a handful of, not even a handful of 360 3D games, but Dead Space 3, I mean not Dead Space 3, but Gears of War 3 is pretty good in 3D on the Xbox 360. Some things is kind of weird when it comes to the 3D inside that game, but all in all, it's a real good 3D game, and I loved it. Actually, I feel like playing it right now, just talking about it. I didn't finish it in 3D yet. But yeah. Number 4, and all the rest of these 3D games are going to be PS3 3D games, because just simply Sony makes 3D TVs, and they're trying to support their TVs, and they do a good job at supporting their 3D TVs. So with that said, number 4, the God of War collection. When I played that game in 3D, I pretty much almost lost my mind. It felt like, because a lot of people think that 3D is supposed to mean that stuff pops out the screen. Actually, not necessarily. Some of the best 3D is actually when you can see into the game. Like, it feels like you're looking inside of something. It felt like when I was playing the game, it felt like I was looking at a miniature Kratos just fighting some enemies on the screen. Like, it's crazy. It don't even, your screen doesn't look like a screen no more. It looks like you're looking inside something, literally, you know? And then when you take off 3D, it looks like your screen is flat. Like, everything just seems so flat. So you guys are super sleeping on 3D, but I can't wait for people out there to start getting into 3D and really see how it looks. Number 3, Icon Shadow of the Colossus HD collection in 3D. You know, that's a real good game. I love playing Ico inside 3D. Shadow of the Colossus inside 3D, which is amazing. I played through that game like 3 or 4 times. Finally played through it in 3D and HD. Just freaking ridiculously amazing. Amazing like glazing a raisin. Anyways, number 2, MotorStorm 3D Rift. I wish they would have made the whole MotorStorm Pacific Rift game in 3D, just put a little update, but they didn't. I don't know what's up with that. But 3D Rift you can download from the PlayStation Store. They got about 5 to 7 levels, I think 7 levels. Amazing. Like, strictly amazing. Like, that game will blow your mind playing that in 3D. The mud is flying, like, I bullshit you not. If you crash and debris start flying towards the screen, I guarantee you, if it's your first time watching 3D and you're skeptical, I guarantee you, you're gonna be all jumping though. I bet you'll jump, because the stuff you flying, it feel like it's flying at you. Gimmick or not, it's a lot of stuff that's gimmick. Food is gimmicks these days. So gimmick or not, the game is amazing in 3D. And what could beat that at number 1? Super Stardust HD. It's a little arcade style game. You're flying little spaceships, shooting these little rocks. But it's so amazing. That game's the best game in 3D. A baby can watch that game in 3D because there's strictly, feels like you're watching it naturally. There's extremely no eye strain, and a lot of PS3 games that's in 3D don't have no eye strain. But this game is strictly none at all. It's just so amazing. You don't get no ghosting whatsoever, no matter how you're sitting. Well, depending on how you're sitting. If you're sitting all sideways, then you are. But you can. It's so easy to play that game in 3D, and the game is amazing in 3D. The little planet feels like it's sticking outside the TV, and it feels like you're flying in and out the TV, and then when the rocks explode, like it's like boom, like it just goes. It's amazing, man. So the people that's sleeping on 3D, you need to stop. You need to wake up for Freddy Krueger get your ass, because I'm telling you, it's amazing when it comes to gaming. It's just that it's not that many games out there in 3D, and a lot of developers don't put that much hard work behind it, you know, to push it like it should be getting pushed, you know, because they figure, well, a lot of people don't got 3D TV, so why bust our asses and spend extra money to make a game where every single thing inside the world works so perfectly in 3D, depending on where you're standing at, it works so perfectly, you know. Another game for 360 that's real good in 3D, I just want to mention, that wasn't on the list, is Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary Remake. That is amazing as well in 3D. So with that said, it's been your boy Noob Sai about the Universal Gamer. Thank you guys for watching this update. Hopefully you guys, I don't know if I'm gonna keep this like this, but it is more comfortable for me and stuff like that. And I save paper, you know. I usually throw it up at the end. I'm not gonna throw my laptop up, so that's not about, actually, you know what? Nah, that ain't gonna happen. But yeah, with that said, thank you guys for watching, man. leave me your feedback, what you think about this episode and stuff like that, like you guys been doing. And yeah, hope you guys liked it. Hope I did a good job, and I'm out. Peace.